Welcome back, James Biggie here, and today I want to talk about tattooing and my life as a tattoo artist and what it means to be a tattoo artist and how I got where I am. Because I see a lot of people who have some sort of preconceived notion of what it's like to be a tattooer and are way off or not quite all the way there. So I'd like to clear up some stuff like that about how to become a tattoo artist and about what it's been like for me to be a tattoo artist, and some things you don't think of when you're like, oh, that's so cool, I want to be a tattooer. Because it's not all fun, it's not all upside, there is some trade-off, and I'll explain some of that as we go on. First and foremost, if you would like to be a tattooer, and it's something you aspire to do, don't. I don't want to be that guy, but don't. There's not many people who, A, are cut out for being a tattooer, B, will actually pursue it the proper way to become successful as a tattooer, and C, really have their expectations met once they break into it and figure out their apprenticeship. Stuff like that. So if you're considering being a tattooer, don't. Just don't. If you watch this video and you hear me say that, don't. Fucking don't do it. Don't try to be a tattooer. It's not that fucking cool. I mean, there's TV shows and shit, and that's a whole nother thing. So, like, if you want trying to be famous and get on TV and draw some cool pictures and have everybody think you're the shit, well, fuck you. Don't. Don't try to be a tattooer. You're not the person that we need. This shit gets stretched thin enough. The shop I work at has a shop a mile and a half down the road from it with a bunch of guys that'll undercut my price to get the money and to do the tattoo that people come and ask me to do. There's a shop a few miles down the road from that. There's a shop, 5 miles in this direction that'll do the same fucking thing. There's one that opened up seriously walking distance from my house doing the same thing. There are only so many tattoo clients in a city or in a space or in an area that you can make money off of and make a living off of, and the more of you that are brought into it, the more people that are brought into tattooing, the thinner the money gets spread. If you hear that, you're still considering being a tattooer, still don't. Alright, seriously, if you've heard all that, and after this video, you're still considering becoming a tattoo artist, then give it a shot. But let me explain to you, first and foremost, there's no such thing as a tattoo school and a shortcut in tattooing. You are unable to teach yourself how to tattoo. So buying tattoo machines on eBay or on Amazon and trying to do it at your house will automatically sort of disqualify you in the eyes of any reputable tattoo artist or tattoo shop. So don't fucking do that. The only way to become a tattoo artist that is viable, that will be taken seriously, that has earned their way into the business, is to get an apprenticeship. You go to a tattooer who's already established and knows what they're doing and does good work. You talk to them. You get tattooed by them. You try to become friends with them and build a relationship with them on some sort of a level. And then maybe if you have the drive and the ability artistically to do it, maybe, just maybe, they will find you to be somebody that is worth trying to teach. And then if they've deemed you worthy and deemed it something they would like to tackle and try to do, that is when perhaps you approach them about an apprenticeship, or they approach you better off or whatever. So if that happens, what's going to happen if you have a tattoo apprenticeship is you will work for free. You will not make a dime. You will scrub toilets. You will clean and mop floors. You will help customers. You will take out garbage. I had to cut grass. The shop I started in had a yard around it, so I had to cut grass, I had to pick up food, I had to answer phones, I had to do everything that happens in a tattoo shop that's not tattooing actively, that takes hard work, I had to do. In addition to that, between doing that, you'll sit and watch a lot of tattoos happen, and you'll hopefully draw and draw and draw some more. And when I was apprenticing, I didn't necessarily get the sitting and the watching part. I mean, I did, but I didn't get taught anything during that. And I had sort of a bad apprenticeship where I didn't really learn enough before I started tattooing. So I had to unlearn some habits after I left that shop and got to a better shop where I could be taught properly. So you'll do a lot of bitch work. You'll be made to feel like you're not worth anything, because you aren't for a long time. It's very demoralizing. The whole theory is, and it's a very old school theory for tattooers, is you take a person and you kind of break them down and tear them apart and reduce them down to the lowest possible level through the hard work and the not appreciating them and not taking advantage of, but really like utilizing that person to do all of your bidding with giving them very little in return except for the education. And that is when they build you back up, and that is when you start learning and when you have proven yourself worthy, because it is stretched so thin and we don't want many more of you. Every now and then one comes along that you're like, you know what, you would be cut out for this. I think this can work. Let's teach you. It has only happened once. The shop I worked at, we took on an apprentice, and that person got really far and advanced really far, and then it ended up in the end kind of not working out, and we're still friends with this person, and they may end up tattooing professionally down the line, but it didn't work with them for us in our shop or whatever. So you will feel unappreciated, you will feel shitty, you will feel worthless, you will feel overworked and underappreciated, underpaid, and that's good. If you get through that, then you're somebody that's worth our while, right? Then you will start to slowly learn. You will learn how to handle machines. More importantly, you'll learn how to handle people's blood and biomedical waste, and how to sterilize and sanitize work areas and all the important medical stuff that you can't fucking teach yourself at your house with your eBay machines. So don't fucking try to shortcut it, because that's very important. You could fucking die. You can catch a disease and die because you're an asshole that doesn't know how to handle blood the right way, and you decided to start trying to tattoo in your fucking kitchen like an asshole. So don't do that. Get to the point where somebody will teach you that shit in a shop, learn all that shit, and then you'll slowly start learning how to handle machines, learning how to clean tattoo machines, how to tune tattoo machines. If you have a mentor that is so inclined to teach you that sort of stuff, then you'll learn how to set up your machines and how to handle them and what they feel like. Because doing a tattoo is not like doodling a little picture on paper. It's being tasked with drawing perfectly crisp, straight lines with a 2-pound vibrating pencil on a rounded, moving surface that is constantly breathing and shifting and malleable and very, very, very difficult to master that sort of thing. It's not drawing on paper. If you could doodle a pretty picture of a fucking unicorn, that's great. You may not be able to tattoo, and that's fine. Stick to canvas, stick to paper, whatever. So once you learn all that basic stuff, maybe your mentor's like one day, okay, well, I feel you've learned enough to get to the point where you're going to tattoo yourself, right? You're not going to tattoo whatever person walks through the door and asks for a cool tattoo or whatever. You're going to tattoo yourself. So you're going to find a spot on your body to do a tattoo on yourself. This is traditionally the way that a lot of tattooers do their very first tattoo. I did it. I know a lot of tattooers that did it. I know a lot that didn't do it. But a lot of people agree that it's sort of like a rite of passage sort of thing. If you're not forced to tattoo yourself, or not, I'm not even going to say forced, if you're not allowed to tattoo yourself, or you're not given the go-ahead to tattoo yourself or whatever, or you're allowed to skip that part of it, you may be allowed to tattoo a friend. This is always in a supervised situation. Friend knows what's going on, that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're just learning, and you'll have your mentor with you, and they will help teach you and like guide you through that tattoo and assist you. You do that shit for a while. You tattoo yourself, tattoo a friend, tattoo another friend. You do these tattoos for free, and if your friends are cool, they may tip you. If the mentor that has taken you on has decided that you're allowed to take tips, even I've heard of some people that like that early on they're not allowed to take the tip. Like if their friends tip them or whatever, it goes to their mentor's pocket, because that's where all the knowledge and where all the education is coming from, so pay it back, right? So, after that happens, for a long time, once your mentor deems your work proper enough and well done enough to turn you loose on some simplistic tattoos that walk in the door, then maybe you'll be able to tackle a small walk-in or two. They will be very few and far apart, because a lot of the shit that walks through the door is going to be over your head and out of your skill set. So you have to wait for the simplistic stuff, the kanji, or for those who don't know, the Asian Japanese letters and shit like that. Very small, simple, solid black tattoos and silhouettes, and maybe some lettering, which is even a little bit more advanced than that stuff. You work your way up slowly, and it may take 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 80 tattoos like that trickle through the door very slowly before you're allowed to do anything else. While you're doing those tattoos, it's a good idea to practice more tattoos on your friends for free, right? If you are lucky enough to get to this position, you still haven't made it and haven't proven that you're going to be around for the long haul. After a while of this, your mentor will, if you're doing a good job or whatever, let you slowly advance your skills and slowly step your game up. And you'll have to struggle. In the first year, the first 2 years, the first 5 years will be a struggle. You'll feel like, I got this down, this is cool one day. And then the next day you'll be like, why the fuck didn't any of that work out? I thought I knew what I was doing. And you'll reach these little peaks and valleys where you're like, oh, I get this now. I understand this part of it. Oh, fuck, I forgot it, or didn't forget it, but it doesn't feel the same. Because there's a lot of variance. Everybody's skin is different. It reacts differently. You have to be able to adjust and adapt accordingly. So you're going to feel like you're not advancing for some time, or that you've reached a stale point or a plateau, and that shit sucks, but it happens to everybody. So you struggle like that for years and years and years, and hopefully you're around people that help you grow and learn, and you advance more than I did, because it took me a while to find those people that helped me grow and learn and stuff. At that point, you're a tattooer, right? You're a working paid artist doing walk-in tattoos and small appointments and learning and advancing and getting it. So you'll make a little bit of money, right? You're not going to make baller status money. You're not going to get on fucking TV and become a TV star. You're just a working street shop tattoo artist. And that's what I have been for years now. After a while, you maintain a clientele and you get a lot of repeat business and you pay your bills and live a comfortable life like I do. But on the way there are weeks and days and stuff where you're not making any money, because you don't get paid by the hour, you get paid by the tattoo. You get paid a percentage of the tattoo, of what a tattoo costs or whatever. So there's a struggle. There's a busy and a slow season, and you have to pivot and plan for that. And I haven't always done that. And it has really, really bit me in the ass from time to time. You also have to spend a lot of time in a tattoo shop. You spend 50, 60 hours a week at some points in your career for years on end. So your friendships struggle, your relationships struggle, your family life struggles because you're so dedicated to your job and to your career that you don't have much time for anything else. I've had relationships fall apart because of it. I've had, bills that were like 3-4 months late just because I was trying to keep up with it, and I had a few slow weeks and I didn't budget and plan the right way, and I was irresponsible when I was younger. And then after some time you get it and it feels good. But that's about when the old tattooer jadedness kind of slowly trickles in. And then you're to a point where you're a dude like me, or a woman not me, but you're a person like me, and you finally have a good big clientele where you stay busy and you book your time and you make some cool tattoos and they trust you and let you do some cool shit on them, and you're paying your bills and making some money to have hobbies like fucking YouTube or whatever your hobby may be. And you have a nice little home and you have some pets and you have this sort of niche carved out for you in life. And it feels good. But the grind that it took to get there gives you an appreciation for where you've got. That's where I am. And then you start looking at that shit like Inkamaster and TV and social media being an important thing or whatever. You start looking at it as kind of a joke, right? People young that don't know, that are young that don't know what they're doing, that think tattooing is one thing, it becomes something very different for them. And while I love and value it and I wouldn't trade it for the world, it's not quite what I thought it would have been going in, and I learned that in enough time to kind of adjust and figure it out and make it work for me. That's what you have to do to become a working tattooer. Those are the expectations that you have to have going in, or the expectations that you have to have going in are going to be vastly different from the expectations that you have coming out. Like I said, I wouldn't trade this for the world. I value it. It means a lot to me. And that's why I make videos like this, or I can make a video like this, where I can address somebody who is a young scrub like I was, that had no fucking business doing what they're doing, being around tattooing the way that I am now back then. I had no business getting the apprenticeship that I got, and I had no business being around tattooing, but somehow I was able to. I was undeserving, and I had to eventually earn my spot here. And I have, and if that's something that you want to do, that's the struggle. And I hope that maybe you can do it if you are worthwhile. Not to say that I'm the greatest tattooer on earth, or that I live this glorious, glamorous life, but I make a living drawing pictures on people. I get to wear what I want to work. I get to listen to the music that I want to listen to at work. I get to bump Wu-Tang and draw pictures of cool shit. And that is absolutely worth it. So, if you've made it this far, which some of you may, many probably not, if you didn't make it this far, then you know what, you haven't. If you can't make it this far in a YouTube video, you're not going to make it that far in an apprenticeship, right? And I'm not saying this is the only real method, but it's kind of the only real method. Everybody's path differs slightly. Who becomes a tattooer, everybody goes through a different apprenticeship or a different, view on specific issues, or well, I did this, but you had it differently sort of thing. But it's all sort of roundabout what I just described to you. So if you made it this far, I appreciate it. And if you still think that maybe one day you want to be a tattoo artist, put down the fucking YouTube, pick up a pencil and some paper, start drawing, start going to get tattooed, spend your money on tattoos. Really, really, really try to involve yourself in it before you even try to make the jump from tattoo client to apprentice. Learn to draw, learn to paint even. I still can't fucking paint. Paintbrushes are like my kryptonite. But make it worth your while and worth your tattooer's while and your mentor's while to take you under their wing and to teach you this art form that so many of us value so fucking much that we don't want little fucking scrubs like you in it. So that's all I've got to say. Any other tattoo artist friends of mine that happen to see this, hit me up. Let me know what you think if I missed anything, because I'm sure this is all off the top of my head. I have no script or whatever, so I'm sure there's some aspect or part that I may have missed. So hit me up if you know me. If you don't know me and you're a tattooer and you have anything to add to the conversation, comment down below. Please like, share this video, subscribe if you haven't. It's not all about tattooing over here. This is my vlogging rant channel, so I talk about everything else from music to art to movies to comic books to whatever I feel like or whatever's in my brain at the time that I turn the camera on. Today it was tattooing. That's all I've got. Hopefully I hear from you very soon. I'll have links to a couple of my other videos down here, and you can subscribe by clicking my cartoon face that will be up there, or not cartoon face, sorry, that's the other channel. Clicking a very handsome picture of my beautiful face. That'll be right there. And tell a friend. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully I hear from you soon, and I will talk to you later.